Hello. I have my drink. I have myself. I have my phone. I have everything a good little VTuber needs to make mid content. How are we all doing today? Hey Dragon, hey Eponymous, hey Merlino, hey Mike. What am I drinking? I'm drinking some hot chocolate. Galaxy hot chocolate. I've also got some gamer subs in a thing, but you know, hot chocolate too. Dude, they should make a hot chocolate gamer subs flavor. Wait, hey Candice, hey Sushi, hey Taurus. They should make, if I ever get a flavor, hot chocolate flavor. I always have a bit of gamer subs on the go so I don't fall asleep at my desk, but dude. Can you make hot chocolate flavored things without them being hot or chocolate? This may be a dumb question, but I think I have, you know, I have reasons for thinking this. Because the flavor of hot chocolate is not really like anything else. It's just hot chocolate. Nothing tastes like hot chocolate other than hot chocolate. Can you, like, make that flavor, though, in gamer subs form? And if so, can I have some? Pretty please, with a cherry on top. Okay, and there we go. And that. Thank you for the backup reminder. Okay. Whoosh. Think you can make a flavor like that, but probably not good. I don't know, man. There's some weird flavors that you're able to make artificially. Oh god, YouTube chat's dead. Hang on. Like, there are some flavors you can make artificially that you can't even make normally. Like, you guys know banana, not the actual fruit banana, but like the flavor of banana that you get when you have like a banana milkshake or banana milk or banana flavored candy or whatever. And that's not like a real flavor, right? That flavor doesn't exist in real life. If you eat a banana, it doesn't taste anything close to that. They've added like a shit ton of sugar or whatever, but it still tastes nice. So if we can make flavors that don't exist, surely we can make a flavor that does exist, but without it needing to be... Although when you think about it, hot chocolate is just kind of gamer subs already. Because it's powder that you put in, the only difference is it's hot. What would happen if you drank cold cold hot chocolate? Is that... No, it's not a milkshake. Hey Shadow, hey Grunt. I'm actually tempted to go and get like some cold hot chocolate. If you no, but it's not. Hot chocolate isn't chocolate milk though. They're entirely different. Hey, Kai up. They're entirely different breeds of flavor. Okay. Hot chocolate tastes distinctly different from chocolate milk, but I've never had cold hot chocolate. It is wrong, but I've also never tried it. Yeah, you'd have to like put less powder in. Oh, dude, it is just Milo. Wait, you're not wrong. It is pretty much just Milo then, which anyone not in Australia is not gonna get. But Milo's like an Australian thing. I actually hated Milo when I was over there, so maybe I'm not cooking here. Clearly what I need to do is I need to just, if I can convince GamerSups to mix like, you know, what do they put in for those instant heat reactions? What chemical is it? How are they made? What do you put in them? Calcium oxide? Okay, if I can convince GamerSups to add calcium oxide to their powder, which I think I can do because I'm very persuasive, then when you add it to the water, it'll heat up automatically, and then you can have immediate hot chocolate GamerSups. I might be cooking here. I think I might be onto something, chat. Chat, if we get a real quick and easy, like several thousand sales using my GamerSups code, I will petition to GamerSups to make instant heat hot chocolate GamerSups. I thought this was a yapping stream, not schedule one. I'm not making drugs. I'm making the future. The future of food. Historians in years to come will look back at this stream specifically and be like, yo, this is where shit kicked off. Like a flamethrower here, you get an MRE. Yeah, well, in MREs, the way they do it is you crack it and that adds like water to calcium oxide and that heats shit up. So if we just put the calcium oxide in the GamerSups, and then when you add it to the water manually, like you normally do, it will immediately heat up. And it's probably not even that. Like, what it makes like calcium. Oh, what is that called? Wait, what? Wait, what is... Wait, oh, no, wait, hang on. Oh, calcium oxide is quitclaim. Hang on, let me just Google something quick. Is quitclaim safe to eat? Accidental ingestion of the desiccating agent calcium oxide, commonly known as quitclaim, causes chemical burns due to its strong alkalinity. A lethal dose of quitclaim is approximately 10 grams. Oh, so, okay, so if we just make it so that the powder has 9 grams of quitclaim in it, then we're okay, right? Because it's like a threshold thing. What does it turn into? CaOH. OOH2. Is that hydroxide? Yeah, calcium hydroxide. Inorganic compound, a chemical formula, colorless crystal or white powder is produced when quitclaim is mixed with water. Annually, approximately 125 million tons of calcium hydroxide are produced worldwide. Together, we can make that 250 million. What is it? Is it safe to eat? Commonly used to prepare lime mortar. That's fine. It's not what we're after. It's a flocculant. It forms a... What's a flocculant mean? Hang on. Colloidal particles come out of suspension into sediment in the form of flock or flake. It forms a fluffy charged solid that aids in the removal of smaller particles from water. Okay, so that's not really what we're after. Paper industry. We are in the interest of making paper. This could be... Hang on. Intermediate reaction in the production of sodium hydroxide. Okay. In the causticizing operation, burned lime is added to green liquor. So we're already mixing food. It's used in dentistry. due to its antibacterial properties and induction of hard tissue deposition. Yo, we can claim that it's healthy, it's medically beneficial because it has antibacterial properties. Don't ask why the bacteria died. Wait, food industry. Okay, here we are. Because of its low toxicity and the mildness of its basic properties, slaked lime is widely used in the food industry. To process water for alcoholic beverages and soft drinks. All I'm hearing is that this shit is safe to eat. So I'm not barking up entirely the wrong tree. Now, introducing a potentially toxic compound into a powder purely so that we don't have to go through the hassle of heating up water might not be the best idea. However, I'm thinking like a visionary. I'm thinking ahead of the game. And in that game, you won't get to that game. You guys are playing checkers. I'm playing like 3D chess. Wait, all chess is 3D. No, wait. Chess is 2D. Yes, I'm playing 3D chess. I'm thinking, what if when World War III inevitably happens, right? And we're all in the ass end of nowhere fighting a war that we don't care about. I'm going to be the one with preheated gamer subs. And I think y'all are going to be a little bit jealous. When I'm sitting in that trench and you see me crack open a quick hot chocolate gamer subs blend, then you won't be laughing. Then you won't be so judgmental. Then you'll see my vision and I'm not sharing it with you. Fuck you. You had your chance. I will not have chemical burns. I'm built different. I'm built better than the average human. The average human cannot compare to me and my throat game. They call me the throat goat for a reason. You're aware, right? There's a reason I'm widely renowned as the goat of throat. Just ask your mom. Smart, actually. Exactly. People just hate to see a visionary at work. They hate to see a man thrive.
Fuck you! Just built better. You're sounding a lot like Bree there.
Aiden, thank you for the biddies. I would never sound like Bree. Bree is not built better. Bree is built stupid. Bree is built maybe the most wrong a person can be built. God was making Bree and was like, hey, how do we fuck this up the most possible and not just immediately have them die? Bree booked a flight to the wrong fucking city again. Again. For like the third time in a row for conventions, she has booked a flight to the wrong city. You're telling me that is built better? Correct state. She is getting better. She's getting more accurate. So I'll give her that. She's not on the wrong fucking continent this time. W. But she's still in the, like, how hard is it to just book the right flight to the right place? It's not. People do it every day. I also can't, like, I said this on stream the other day, like, when I booked my flights, I sent the flight schedule before I booked it to, like, my family and to, like, 3 of my friends that are also going to be like, hey, this is it, right? This is where I'm going. This is, like, what, because I don't trust myself to book flights. It's way too big of a decision for me. So I have to get adult supervision when I book things or I'll cry. Mistake she made was then exchanging the tickets for once to San Jose rather than catching the train for 13. You can get trains for 13 bucks in the US? Wait, isn't that like an hour-long train ride? Wait, hang on. San Francisco to San Jose train ticket time. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, over here, I mean, actually, hang on. If I was to get the train to Glasgow, yeah, no, trains here suck. We just walk everywhere. This is why we don't go into Glasgow. It's part of Bart Simpson. I don't know, he was involved with the transport industry. Glad to see his life's turned around. It's good for him. It's hard to, you know, go from not graduating high school to having a fulfilling job in the American transport industry. So, like, good for him for pulling himself up by his Bart straps. Self-heating coffee cans have 2 layers. Heating chemicals are separated from the coffee. I'm aware, but that is baby bitch shit. If you're going to separate the heating part from the liquid part, you may as well just use like a kettle. The appeal of my invention is that you just pour that shit together and it works. And you don't need like a can. You don't need like a special mechanism. If you have powder and you have water, shit will just work. You just put the powder, you put the water, boom, instant boil. I wonder if they have that. Is that like, okay, maybe not because it is probably toxic, but is there, I feel like if you're camping, it'd be nice maybe to have a bit of kit where you can just dump it in water and it will just immediately boil that shit. Because that's magic. And then like if you filter it, you probably won't kill you. Or what if you want to have a bath? Instead of bathing in cold water, you just hang on. Chemical that heats water. It's just calcium. Oh, calcium chloride. Can get some salt. Maybe cackle is the play here. Talking about Offkai? I'm talking about adding chemicals to water to heat it up so that I don't have to boil my hot chocolate anymore. Hey, Rivets. Hey, Lysette. How's it feel being the same age as those phytoplankton fossils? Wait, how old are phytoplankton fossils? Are they 25? I doubt it. I think you're calling me old, and I you know, that's kind of rude, actually. It's actually kind of fucked up. My earliest photo on this phone that I have is, the fact you want a full bath while camping just speaks volumes. You're not gonna bathe while, I hate camping, actually. I feel like I need to add this. Probably surprising no one. I went camping with my parents as a kid, and I never got the appeal. I always just stayed inside on my Nintendo DS using Pico Chat to talk to the other kids in the campsite. My friends, after we graduated high school, started going hiking together, and they invited me like 4 times, and every time I was like, why? Like, you are going to drive to a forest, you're gonna get out, you're gonna walk through the forest to the other side of the forest to get back in a different car and drive back. Just get a treadmill. Get a treadmill and some VR headset or something. Like, you don't need all that. Getting clean shower and then soaking in a tub. Weirdly, I don't take baths. I've never really been a bath taker. I'm very much more of a shower. I do sometimes sit down in the shower though when I want to like meditate like I'm under a waterfall. It's... Hey Musa. I just don't get the appeal. It's never been a hobby that speaks to me. Pen is actually arguing about why you shouldn't touch grass. I just don't get it. Like, okay, mountaineering I get. Like, going up a mountain, climbing a hill, I get it. Because you get to the top and you're like, holy shit, I climbed a thing. I can see I get a cool view, right? I don't understand the appeal of just walking. Like, walking somewhere. And then it's like, yep, you walk there. Walk back. Like, running, understandable. Healthy. Fun. You're going fast. Forests are very pretty as well. Forests are just trees. I see them everywhere. I mean, I was in Australia at the time, so maybe they were just surprised that forests were real, but also gets your brain away from constant dopamine on the internet. Jokes on you, I have a dopamine deficiency. My doctor says it's terminal. What does he know, though? Oh, because you're Scottish. That is true. I mean, it is funny. I've wanted to tweet out an image of what I see when I wake up out the window every morning, because it's genuinely quite beautiful. It's like a big hill, the big plains of a hill with like a tower on it and a castle, and there's like, it gets foggy at night and it gets all like moorish. It's really cool, but I know that if I tweeted that out, somebody would be able to like reverse engineer it and be like, he lives in this apartment at this address. And I'm not really scared that anybody's going to do anything, but I don't really want people on the internet knowing my exact location, you know? I doubt having a dopamine deficiency. Wasn't that like a weird fucking trend on YouTube for a while that people got obsessed with for no like scientific reason? They just decided that they were going to do like dopamine fasts. You guys remember that? It was like a a weird trend that it was one of those weird health nut trends. There's a lot of them on the internet of people being like, you guys actually have dopamine? Joke's on you. I do dopamine cleanses every year. Or the people that like do fucking... wasn't there a thing with like the guy that hated masturbation, Kellogg, like the brother of the guy that invented circumcision and invented Kellogg's cereal, where didn't he die from having like a massive jet of water shot up his ass? Or did I make that up in my head canon? Wait, Kellogg, what's it called? Enema thingy. Don't look at my Google search history. Hey Don, how you going? Yeah, it was the yogurt enema, wasn't it? An early proponent of germ theory of disease, Kellogg was well ahead of his time in relating intestinal flora and the presence of bacteria in the intestines to health and disease. The sanitarium approached treatment in a holistic manner, actively promoting vegetarianism, nutrition, and the use of yogurt enemas to clean intestinal flora. One of these things is not like the other. He shot jets of water up other people's... Yeah, wasn't there like a... Kellogg further believed that natural changes in intestinal flora could be sped up by enemas seeded with favorable bacteria. He advocated the frequent use of an enema machine to cleanse the bowel with several gallons of water. Water enemas were followed by the administration of a pint of yogurt. Half was eaten, the other half was administered by enema. Bro. This is what, like, real sex aversion does to a motherfucker. Because wasn't this the guy that, like... Kellogg did advocate circumcision without anesthetic as an efficacious cure for masturbation. Huh. Or did you just join? We're looking at Kellogg, who apparently... This is what... Dude, this is what, like, sex... what's it called? Like, unhealthy mindset about sex, like sex repression does to a motherfucker. You repress that shit, it'll fuck you up in other ways. It's like a leaky pipe. Put pressure on one end, it will just shoot out the other. Like, you gotta go to therapy, my man. This guy was so, like, sex averse that he started doing yogurt enemas. Just kind of check out if what you want to do is replace your entire gut microbiome without antibiotics. I don't think you can replace your gut microbiome. Genuinely, I think if you lost your gut microbiome, you would die. But there's so much in there. I don't think you can actually clear that shit out. I don't think you can, like, cleanse it all. But this man was, circumcision is weird, man. Quick poll in chat. How many of you guys are circumcised? It's weird. I know it's still like a very popular thing in America. It's such a... Glad to be able to hop in after ever. Hope you've been well. I've been great. We're talking about enemas and circumcision, so nothing has really changed. It's such a strange procedure to do to a child. And like, you talk to people about it and they're so defensive, and it's like, bro, just... Why are you so invested in... What? Enough antibiotics will mess up the microbiome. Well, isn't a thing of like, you've got more, there are more cells in your microbiome in your gut than you actually have in like your entire body, right? Like, you have more, your body is made up of more cells that aren't you than cells that are you. Which is kind of like, I feel like there's some weird ship of Theseus shit that you could do there if you wanted to really get existential. Like, if you really wanted to mess with these, like, are you or are you... Hey, Sophie. Yeah, if you not heard that, like, hang on, how many cells in the human body? How many cells human body? It's trillions. Yeah, 30 trillion human cells, right? How many cells got microbiome? Human gut microbiome is estimated to contain approximately 100 trillion microbial cells. So you got like 3 times as many bacteria and shit in your stomach, in your your gut, than you have cells in your body. So in reality, like, you're not really a human. You're like a bacteria mothership. Your job isn't to live. Your job is to carry those bacteria. Like, it is weird to think because they are separate from you, right? Like, they're separate from you and your body and everything. So their whole survival mechanism is not... It's strange. You have like a symbiotic relationship with them, and their survival strategy is to just leech off of your food and then like help you by cleaning out shit. But it's strange to think that technically you are separate like beings. So your job really is to be the host for gut bacteria that are just kind of hitching a ride. Which is kind of funny. It's also like super cool. Your job is to sex. Well, I mean, actually, how does that work? I assume, yeah, that is how the microbiome duplicates, is because when you have a kid, I think the mum like starts the colony in the kid. But it is weird to think that you were like a biological mothership. And your job really is to just carry bacteria around and help it multiply. Probably spreads through breast milk. I know breast milk has antibodies in it. It's just how babies stay immune before they can be vaccinated. Accidentally clicked your news shirt and here circumcision is weird. It is weird. I'm not John Kellogg. I did not invent Kellogg cornflakes. I don't have a cereal to my name. I didn't invent a cereal. But it's weird. I'm just saying. I like my foreskin. He's my buddy. You've heard of foreskin. Does that mean there's afterskin? Where is that located? I didn't pass sex education. Ugh. God, I'm so stiff. Not because of the foreskin talk. It's not that kind of stream. Ugh. 5 skin. You've heard of 5 gum. Now get ready. They made a sequel to Foreskin? This is crazy. Foreskin and afterskin. Oh god. You know, on a completely separate topic, isn't the afterskin the frenulum? Is that the area like between your... Is that like your gooch? Fine, I'm googling frenulum. Oh, it's just a thin rope-like piece of tissue that connects 2 body structures. Huh, you have a bunch of frenulums. Could leave this conversation for a bit. I'm uncomfortable with the current topic of conversation. It's alright, we're moving on. I was going to mention I've been watching JJK, because, you know, that's a pretty good segue, right? You talk about dicks and then move on to Jujutsu Kaisen, which realistically is a dick. Oh wait, no, do you know what we can do? You want to go over the fucking Crunchyroll Anime Awards? And did you guys see this shit? I had it in the news short that like Iron Mouse was a reader, a pre-show presenter for it. Hang on. Here we go. You guys ready to be mad? Are you guys ready to be angry? Here we go. I don't want to raise my blood pressure. What are you talking about? This is such a good Anime Awards. So we have Anime of the Year is Solo Leveling. So the nominations for Anime of the Year were Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon Meshi, Frieren, Apothecary Diaries, Solo Leveling, and Kaiju number 8. And Solo Leveling won. Now, me personally, I would have given it to Frieren. I think Frieren is probably the best one here. Here's the thing. I don't mind Solo Leveling. I'm a big fan of Shonen Slop. I liked the manhwa for Solo Leveling. I'm like a big shonen slop guy, but Frieren was genuinely like fucking absurd. Frieren was an absurd show that genuinely might be one of the best shows to come out in the last like 5 years, if not decade, right? Solo Leveling won that. Now, I didn't actually watch many anime movies this year. So, I think the only one I watched was... I watched the Haikyuu one. I don't think I've watched any of the other ones. I need to watch My Hero at some point, but... So, I have no idea. I didn't even know what Look Back was, but... W. Good for them. Oh wait, we can just do next. Okay. Then the next one is Best Continuing Series. Oshi no Ko, Spy Family, My Hero, One Piece, and Bleach. Now me, personally, I'd have given this shit to Bleach. Just because Bleach has been gone for like a decade. So for me, I would have probably given it to them. My Hero has been kind of cooking recently. And in terms of like quote-unquote continuing series, like My Hero never really stopped, so I get why it's on there. But honestly, I think all of these are valid. However, One Piece was nominated. And I'm going to say something. One Piece fans are very rapidly becoming the JoJo fans of the modern era. They're not as annoying. They're not as bad. However, One Piece fans, if they find out that you have enjoyed any other show other than One Piece, will come up to you and be like, yeah, but have you watched One Piece yet? Yeah, but okay, that show's cool, but One Piece? I know you like this completely unrelated show that has nothing to do with shonen, but One Piece? And they're not as bad as JoJo fans or like Dragon Ball fans when it comes to like, yeah, but can they beat Goku though? But they're getting there. You ever try and talk about like a shonen anime and be like, yo, this character's power is so cool. Yo, this character's power is so strong. If there's a One Piece fan in like a 10-mile radius, they will come up to you and be like, yeah, but could they beat Luffy though? Yeah, but Luffy, could they beat Luffy? Also, by the way, can I go out on a limb here and say, Luffy's powers have since like Gear 3 have been a little bit dumb. They've gone a bit too far. Because my favorite thing about One Piece when I was watching it, and I haven't watched all of One Piece, but I've watched a bit of it, and I'm familiar enough with the plot. I'm not going to spoil anything, but my favorite part about the One Piece like power system was that it was like relatively restricted in terms of like characters had like a thing that they did, and they did that thing, and they used that thing creatively and uniquely in order to like be stronger, right? So Luffy had a very restricted, concrete ability of like, he's rubber, he boing boing, right? And the fights were him using that like kind of creatively in order to make new moves and new fights. But then in like recent upgrades and shit, I don't know, his powers are just kind of left around. They've done the shonen thing of like, oh, right, so we're at that tier now. Great, love that. So yeah, I don't care that One Piece didn't win. I'm not a huge One Piece stan. I actually like Demon Slayer a lot. Oshi no Ko is also good. Bleach is good. My Hero is actually alright. People shit on My Hero a lot, but I think My Hero actually does cook a lot with a lot of their seasons. I think they have a cool story currently. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Deku. And Spy Family is also good. So none of those are necessarily bad, and at least they didn't give it to Solo Leveling. But speaking of, Best New Series, we had Frieren, Dungeon Mesh. Notice also, by the way, that these are all just the same nominations as for Anime of the Year. Why they had... I don't know why they had two categories if they're going to nominate the same people. I guess they didn't want to nominate any sequels for Anime of the Year, but... so these are all the same, and the outcome was the same. Apothecary Diaries should win this. Here's the thing. Apothecary Diaries is a very specific kind of show that doesn't necessarily appeal to the widespread anime fandom, if that makes sense. I know it's very, very popular and a lot of people like it, but it's definitely more of like a shoujo than a shonen. I think it is literally a shoujo, isn't it? Apothecary Diaries. Like, I know the girlies on Twitter go fucking crazy for Apothecary Diaries. I just started watching Apothecary Diaries last night. All my VTuber friends will not shut up about Apothecary Diaries. I know it's a very, like, girly pop, kind of shoujo-esque one. And I know that it's, I think it's pretty popular. But again, you have to kind of, yeah, it's more josei than shoujo, I guess. But I don't know that, I'm gonna be real with you. An anime like that, probably not gonna win, because this is peak, like, boy show versus girl show. Like, Solo Leveling is such peak, like, teenage boy anime, right? That is what it is built for. That is the demographic it is made for. It's very girl-coded. It's not really girly. It's not girly in the sense that it is, like, gender stereotype girly, but it is girl-coded. Mama Cookie Box is right. It's, like, girl-coded in the way the writing is conveyed, the way the characters are set up. It's very josei-esque, right? Oh no, I'm girl-coded. I'm not saying you can't like, I'm not saying only women like it. I'm not trying to put some gender conformist bullshit on it. It's just, in terms of niche, like, stereotypical anime, right? You're gonna take, like, on average, get more people that are enjoying, like, the most brain-dead stereotypical shonen show than the girl-coded shows. So Solo Leveling win is, you gotta remember, Crunchyroll is just really a popularity contest more than anything. So, again, I personally think Free Run is better than both of them. I think Free Run, from what I've seen, I mean, okay, not fair of me to judge Apothecary Diaries, having not really sat down and watched it. I've watched a bit of it, but it didn't click for me. It wasn't something that I, like, really found myself wrapped up in. I wasn't interested really in the characters. So I can't really say, like, oh, Free Run is better than Apothecary, because I know it's a target audience thing, and I just don't fit in the target audience. Free Run, if I had to rank them, I think I'd probably put Free Run first, probably Dungeon Meshi second. I've not seen Kaiju. That's the one I haven't seen, so I can't really rank that. Solo Leveling probably third, then Dandadan, then Apothecary. But I know that's probably an unpopular ranking. It's interesting to see how different audience view things, because Apothecary Diaries was second only to Free Run on Reddit when it was airing, and season 2 is at the top right now. It's popular. It's very, very popular. I'm not saying it's not, or that it's an underrated show. People fucking love it. But when you appeal, like, okay, you have to understand, right? If you're looking at any place where anime discussion is happening, like any time that people have, like, went to Reddit to discuss things, you're looking at people that are, like, engaging in anime on, like, a hobby level, right? There are people that are seeking out discussions, they're going to forums, they're talking about things, they're discussing characters and ideals and shit like that. Those people are a minority compared to the masses that are just, oh, shonen, guy punch thing, happy. Like, that audience will always be, like, bigger, right? So even Free Run, like, Free Run to me, I think is probably one of the most popular shows to release in recent anime history, right? Free Run is everywhere. Free Run figures, Free Run images, fan art, everything. You cannot dodge Free Run this year. It has been probably, in my opinion, Free Run is the biggest manga anime to come out this year. Probably by far the most popular one, and Solo Leveling still beat it. So, our show is based on popular or quality, or neither or both. I think Crunchyroll has a like a panel, doesn't it? And then they have a fan vote, don't they? I think, isn't it the... let's see. Let's see if they have how it works. Panel of judges from the anime industry select the final nominees in each category. Then you, the fans, will join them in voting for the winners. It will be announced in the show in Tokyo. As we have in previous years, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards includes 2 rounds. A panel of judges determine the 6 initial nominees. The same panel votes alongside fans to determine the winner. So it's a mix, right? So it's not entirely popularity voted, but it is a bit popularity voted. And I can't imagine that a panel of judges would vote for solo leveling over freerun, which means the popularity vote was just probably that absurdly one-sided. But look, solo leveling is fun. I feel like when we get into these discussions, people sort of like hand wave away shows and they're like, oh, solo leveling, that's bad. Or My Hero, that's bad. Or Apothecary Diaries, that's... People sort of... The shonen slop fans are kind of like, oh, Apothecary Diaries, that's boring. There's nothing going on. And the people that like Apothecary Diaries are like, oh, solo leveling is just shonen slop. Who gives a fuck? Solo leveling is fun, right? It is a fun show that is just entertaining. I don't think there's anything wrong with watching an anime that is just like, hey, why don't we just watch a guy beat the fuck out of somebody and aura farm for 12 episodes? Like, it's kind of just brainless fun, and I like it. The issue with like voting, like awards, like the Crunchyroll ones, is that normally 99% of the time in the anime community, you can be like, oh, well, you know, I don't like shonen slop, but you do. That's fine. You stay in your category. Oh, I don't really like, you know, slice of life. I don't really like, you know, more shoujo josei shows. I really only care if there's action and cool animation. So I don't really like Apothecary Diaries. And you'd be like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. You stay watching your Jujutsu Kaisen, your Demon Slayer, whatever. And most of the infighting actually happens like inside that realm, like of shonen fans being like, no, Demon Slayer better. No, Jujutsu Kaisen better. But then award shows come up. And what happens with award shows is you get like the clashing of the fucking different groups of anime fans and people get very heated. Same thing happened with Yuri on Ice, like, was that 2017? Was that like 8 years ago? Was Yuri on Ice 8 years ago? I feel like it was like 2017, but I might be wrong. It might be like 2020. But a similar thing happened with Yuri on Ice, right? Where we had the Crunchyroll Anime Awards and Yuri on Ice won fucking everything. And a similar thing happened as is happening this year, but in reverse, right? Because obviously Yuri on Ice is a very, very girl-coded show. It's generally appealing to like the female demographic and the Tumblr demographic and all that shit, right? Nothing wrong with that. But that fan base wildly overvoted, like took the entire, basically things, much like solo leveling here, Yuri on Ice won things that it genuinely should not have won. Like that was the, have you guys seen Mob Psycho season 2? The one that had like the ending that was painted glass. Like there was it was a really, really cool ending, where it was like hand painted, like colored glass as the ending. It was genuinely one of the most pretty endings I've seen in an anime. And Yuri on Ice beat it for best ending. Now the Yuri on Ice opening was really good. The ending, that it wasn't insane. And so people got really tilted. And again, it was that sort of mixing of two audiences that don't normally interact, and you get a lot of fucking anger kicking around. But yeah, me personally, I would not. Solo leveling is like 4th here for me. I think freerun should have won for me personally, but that's just me. Best original anime. I don't think I've watched any of these this year. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Are these are all like Netflix shows, or are there anime that don't come from a source material? I don't think I've watched any of these. So I don't know. I mean, I know of Ninja Kamui. I heard people talk about it. I know. Wait, Ninja Kamui's original? What? Wait, no. Ninja Kamui's been a thing for fucking ages, hasn't it? What? There's no shot Ninja Kamui spawned this year. Has it? Did it? I swear I'd heard of Ninja Kamui before. So original anime is anime that doesn't have like a source material, isn't adapted from a light novel or a manga. It is just an anime made as an anime, right? I swear I thought, you know what? I think I'm thinking of Golden Kamuy. That's probably what I'm doing. Golden Kamuy is, yeah, okay. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, okay. That's a manga that I'm thinking of. That makes sense. Okay, I haven't seen any of these. That looks dope as fuck, though. I may have to check that out. Best animation. Okay. Dungeon Meshi, again, the same fucking shows. Oh my god. Dungeon Meshi, Dandadan, Frieren, Kaiju, Solo Leveling, Demon Slayer. Okay. This is actually kind of hard. I think... Out of the hospital. Welcome back, Resnick. I hope it wasn't too serious. Frieren had some fucking insane moments. Like, Frieren had some animation that genuinely made my jaw drop. Demon Slayer is also fucking peak, though. I think, for me, it's between Frieren and Demon Slayer. The thing for me is that it's hard to separate animation from just general visual splendor, if that makes sense. And I don't think, like, Frieren had moments that genuinely made me go like, holy shit, like, that's beautiful. But I don't hate Demon Slayer winning this. I think Demon Slayer, in terms of combat animation, I think Demon Slayer is probably one of, if not the best shows out there. People hate Demon, I've seen a weird Demon Slayer hate train going where people just don't like it. And I know it's the thing that happens every single time a show gets popular, right? Of once a show gets popular, you get the kind of the clap back of the more people push of like, this show is amazing, this show is the best. You get more and more people that are like, actually, this show sucks and you should hate it and it has no redeeming features. Because if you're going to criticize Demon Slayer's like story, I can see it. It doesn't have like the strongest narrative, but I think its animation and its fight scenes are like one of the few things that you can genuinely... I don't think it's fair to... I don't know. When people start insulting Demon Slayer's like animation instead of its other aspects, it tells me that they just kind of hate the show and just want to shit on it. But personally, I probably would have went for Frieren again. I don't know. I actually might have went for Demon Slayer. I'm struggling to remember what, because I've been watching Demon Slayer recently, and I'm struggling to remember what animations are in the training arc. So it's hard for me to pinpoint. Because the most recent fight that's in my memory is fucking Uzui versus the twin demons, and that shit was beautiful. I'd have tossed it up between these two, but that's just me. I actually don't hate this one. This one's fine. At least Solo Leveling didn't win. Best character design, Dandadan. I don't like that, actually. I don't agree with that. Dandadan has one good character design, and it's Homeboy's transformation. When the nerdy guy transforms, that's a cool character design. But that's kind of the only one that is, like, interesting, really. The other ones are all just, like, high school kids. I think I might have given this to Apothecary Diaries. Because if nothing else from what I've seen of the show is that the characters are fucking beautiful. Even Dungeon Meshi had, like... Honestly, I haven't seen Kaiju. But well, it's not about how good they look, it's about their character design, and their designs are just... Honestly, yeah, I would have probably had I wouldn't have let Solo Leveling win, but I'd have probably nominated Solo Leveling over Dandadan. Like, Dandadan has that one cool character, right? What's the main guy's name? Dandadan Speed guy. What's his fucking name? When he transforms. Yeah, this guy. This is the main character. He's cool as shit. This transformation that he does is peak. I fucking love it. But, like, the main girl is not particularly interesting, really. If none of the other characters, outside of maybe the grandma. But, I mean, I feel like Frieren, again, Dungeon Meshi, Apothecary Diaries, I feel like all of these have probably, I mean, Apothecary Diaries is very tame, but it's very stylized. Unironically, Demon Slayer character designs also go kind of hard. Like, again, you can hate the show you want, but like the way the Hashiras look, the way they're built, they're all like the unique appearance of all of them. They all stand out a lot. Muzan, the demons, dude, the designs of the demons in Demon Slayer are really fucking cool. Especially the upper ones. I honestly would have given this to any other anime in the category except Kaiju because I haven't seen it, as opposed to Dandadan. That's interesting. I'm not mad about it because I'm not super invested, but interesting how that came about. Best Director. This is hard. Like, how do you apply direction? I'm glad Frieren got a win. I would probably... you know what? No, I stand by this. I think this is good. Frieren's direction is good. Frieren is such a good source material that I'm glad that they got a director that adapted it well. Because the only, like, Frieren's source material is so good that the only way that you can really fuck it up is if you adapt it into the anime wrong. And the fact that it is still so good in its adaptation tells me that the director is doing something right. So I actually agree with this. I think this is fine. I'm glad Frieren won something. God knows it fucking deserved it. Background art. Also, yeah, actually, you know, peak. Like I said earlier, like, separating animation from just general, like, art is hard, but Frieren had some fucking insane scenes. Like, just some insane, like, vistas and shit. I've never seen Pluto, actually. That's another one I've not seen. It looks like a fucking Ghibli film or something. Yeah, I'm actually fine with this. I think this is fine. Best romance. Now, if you know your boy does not watch the romance very much. I'm not very much of a romance person, so I got nothing to weigh in here. Although I've seen clips of Dangers in My Heart. Wait, I did watch Too Many Losing Heroines. Peak. I didn't realize they did a Scott Pilgrim anime. Ranma 1/2? Wait, did they re-release Ranma 1/2? What? Excuse me? When did this happen? Ranma 1/2 is older than probably the majority of chat. Again, another Netflix thing. Did they have like a Netflix original, or did they just re-release the show? Oh, you mean, oh, Scott Pilgrim was a Netflix thing? Yeah, Ranma 1/2 is from 1987. Did they re-release it or something? I was not aware there was a Ranma remake. Huh. I personally would have given this to Too Many Losing Heroines just because that shit was funny. It's rare. Like, I've said this before, comedy in anime generally doesn't hit for me. I don't really find most anime funny. I'm not sure why. There's a weird... the way that they do humor in anime is always a bit strange to me. It never really hits. It never lands. I don't generally find it amusing. A lot of it devolves into like slapstick and either slapstick or they do a lot of like word puns which don't translate well. And so it doesn't really land for me a lot. But Too Many Losing Heroines is one of the rare shows that actually made me like chuckle a little bit. I enjoyed it. So like, yeah, Gintama is known as like one of the funniest shows. I did not laugh at Gintama. Again, because I don't know, it's sort of like absurdist comedy, I guess would be the best way of like just doing shit that's so like random that it's funny. And like if that's your humor, that's fine. I'm not judging, but like it just didn't land for me. I didn't find the show funny. Same reason I didn't find Dandadan all that funny. Dandadan has a very similar sense of humor to Gintama, and for similar reasons I did not love it. But yeah, Too Many Losing Heroes would be my vote, but again, I haven't seen the other ones, so it's not a fair vote for me. Ooh, best comedy. Mashle, Dungeon Meshi, Nokotan, Ranma 1/2, Spy Family, Konosuba. They made Konosuba 3? How am I unaware that there was a Konosuba 3? Literally nobody I have spoke to this year has talked about Konosuba 3. What? I was unaware they made a third. I guess I'm just uneducated. I'm just uncultured. I've not been speaking to the right people. Wasn't this the one that had the foot in it? No, that was the movie last year. The Konosuba movie had the Fudo one, didn't it? I don't know how I missed this. Mashle winning, I think is fine. Mashle's funny. Good show. I haven't seen Konosuba 3, but it could also have won. I like Konosuba, but I don't know if maybe, I don't know how that season went. Get better friends should be easy considering Bree is your starting point. True. I should put out applications on Twitter or something, be like, hey, looking for more friends, you have to have good taste in anime, pretty please, thank you. Do not apply if you do not enjoy Konosuba. One Piece enjoyers need not apply. I'm fine with Mashle winning though. Mashle was funny. Best action. We're back to the same like 5 shows again, and unsurprisingly, fucking Solo Leveling won again. Raise your hand if you're shocked. Everybody who raised their hand is now banned. Actually, I don't mind it for this, to be honest. I don't mind Solo Leveling winning this one. I haven't seen Windbreaker. Dan to Dan, his action wasn't... It was good action, but it's not really an action show. It's a comedy. It's Bleach, Solo Leveling, and Demon Slayer would have been my toss-ups. I think Solo Leveling taking it is fine. If Bleach or Demon Slayer got it, I wouldn't have been, like, mad. Yeah. Personally, I'd have probably given it to Demon Slayer, just because I prefer Demon Slayer a little bit, but Solo Leveling taking it is... I don't mind it. Okay. Best Isekai. Yeah. Yeah, this works. I think... Damn, all the big isekais got releases this year. I didn't even clock that. Mushoku Tensei 2, Konosuba 3, Slime 3, and ReZero 3. Suicide Squad, that was the one that had Callie in it. Or not in it, but had Callie as like the opening singer. I remember seeing the animation for it. I have not seen Shangri-La. Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I fucking love ReZero. I'm a big ReZero stan. Probably one of my favorite shows of all time is like ReZero season 1 and 2. 3 was, but just because it's ReZero, I'd have probably voted for it. Slime is very much like Solo Leveling, is that it's kind of very watch very powerful protagonists do very powerful protagonist things, but I think it is fun. I haven't seen Jobless Reincarnation season 2. Jobless Reincarnation is so weird in that I want to love it, but every time I want to love it, there's some weird thing that happens where I'm like, I don't like the... It's the same thing with like the humor again, of like, it's got really pervy humor for a lot of it, and I think later seasons are probably going to do better in general, just because as time goes on, it gets a little bit more serious and you get less of the bullshit that you got like in season 1. Konosuba, again, I haven't seen because somehow I didn't know it released, but if it's as funny as the first 2, I wouldn't be... It and ReZero would probably be my toss-ups. I'd probably vote ReZero just because I'm a big fucking ReZero stan. Yeah, Jobless Reincarnation's world is so cool. Like, it is such a cool world and universe, and it has such a cool... Like, a lot of the characters are interesting, but the main character fucking sucks, and I hate him. And he doesn't even suck in a way that is like, okay, he sucks now, but he'll get better, right? Like, it's not even like a, hey, this is a typical isekai where the protagonist is really bad at the beginning, and then over time he gets better. Like, Rudius is never fucking punished for being the worst, and I hate it. Because other shows have had, like, other isekais have had bad protagonists, but generally what happens is protagonist comes in, is really bad, really weird, has some really bad character traits, and then learns over time of like, hey, I gotta lock the fuck in, and a lot of his bad traits get beaten out of him so that by the end he's like a better character. Subaru is probably a good example of like, at the start of ReZero, he has some really problematic traits. Not as bad as Rudius, not even in the same fucking universe, right? But Subaru has the same thing, but through his bullshit, Subaru gets better and he develops into a character that you're like, oh my god, I actually kind of fucking like this guy. Rudius, in my entire time watching Jobless Reincarnation, starts as the worst and just keeps being the worst. It doesn't follow the same pattern if hero is flawed and realistic. One, I don't think it's realistic to like be that fucking weird about your own family. Like, Rudius is not, in my mind, Rudius isn't realistic levels of assholery. He is problematic asshole. Like, he's not just an anti-hero, he's like, a lot of the shit he does and feels and says and thinks is but the issue is that he's not punished for it. Like, the narrative doesn't, a lot of time when a character has bad traits, right, when they're an asshole, when they have like negative character traits and they have things that don't necessarily fit into our current morals, the narrative will have consequences for those things of like people not liking them or them not getting what they want, and it won't necessarily change the character, but it communicates to the audience of like, hey, this is just the way the character is, we're not condoning it, this isn't us. The narrative doesn't be like, hey, this is a cool way to act. The narrative will be like, hey, this guy's an asshole, but that's just who he is as a character. Rudius doesn't really get that. Everything just kind of goes his way and people just kind of let him off the hook for being an asshole, and it's weird. But the show is good. It's pretty. Cool world. Interesting plot and everything going on. It's just, I don't like the main character. Best drama. Is Freerun a drama? I don't know if I would have called Freerun a drama. I don't know if I would have classified Freerun as a drama anime. A dranime, if you will. What defines a drama? Like, what is the actual definition of like, hey, this is a drama show? Because to me, when I think drama, what I think of is like relationship drama, or like, I don't know what. You know, I think of like soap operas, or I think of slice of life dramas, or I think of romance dramas. I don't know. I personally, I don't think I'd have classified Freerun as a drama. Man, what is a drama? Genre. Stories that focus on realistic characters and emotionally charged narrative. Wait, this is an AI summary. Never mind, hang on. Wikipedia. Slightly better. In film and television, drama is a category or genre of narrative fiction intended to be more serious than humorous. Drama of this kind is usually qualified with additional terms that specify its particular supergenre, macrogenre, or microgenre, such as soap opera, police crime drama, political drama, legal drama, historical drama. In that way, I guess every show is a kind of a drama. I mean, what's it up against? Apothecary Diaries, Oshinoko, Sign of Affection, Dead Demons, Pluto. Like, if it was me, I would have probably given it to Apothecary Diaries. Because as much as I'm not a huge fan of Apothecary Diaries, like, it seems like more of a drama show than Freerun, if that makes sense. Like, in terms of being a drama. Apothecary Diaries fits more into, like, my mold of what a drama is. than Frieren does. And so I'd have probably given, like, Apothecary Diaries is to me like the peak example of a drama, of like a historical drama. More so than Frieren, which is more of a fantasy adventure kind of show. Again, I'm not mad that Frieren won because I think Frieren needs all it can get. Frieren to me was the best anime of last year, so it winning anything is a W to me, but maybe I'm just literature illiterate. Illiterature. Season 3 of, what's it, Eurocamp, whatever it's called. Mr. Dylan's Day Off, Hibiki Euphonium, Nokotan, Dangers in My Heart, Losing Heroines. Again, I'm not a huge slice of life guy, or romance guy. The only one I've really seen here is Too Many Losing Heroines. I know of Nokotan and Laid Back Camp and Sound Euphonium, but they're not really for me. I'd have probably voted for Too Many Losing Heroines, but again, it's just because I'm not familiar with the other ones. Dangers in My Heart is I've never heard of this show. Which is weird, because this looks like the kind of thing VTuber fans would be obsessed with. This looks like if Niji Sanji was an anime. These genuinely all look like VTuber character designs. I'm surprised I've not heard more about this show. It seems peak VTuber coded. I mean, all I can really do is Makini. Too Many Losing Heroines. But, again, I'm not super invested in this award. I wouldn't really be mad if anything won. Oh, best main character. Momo and Okarun from Dandadan. Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries. Kafka from... Dude, they love the same, like, 6 shows in this awards, don't they? Frieren from Frieren and Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling. Honestly, for me, it's a toss-up between Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries, and Frieren. Now, I didn't like Apothecary Diaries, which means I don't necessarily love Mao Mao, but I know that people that do like Apothecary, like, I know that the main appeal of Apothecary Diaries to a lot of people is the main character being the way she is. So, I wouldn't, like, it would make sense to me if it won, because clearly the main character from that show is, like, interesting enough that people like her. Frieren is just, like, Frieren is the lifeblood of the Frieren show. You can't have Frieren without Frieren. And I think Frieren is probably one of the most compelling characters in the show. And Solo Leveling entirely revolves around Sung Jin Woo. Like, the entire show is his power fantasy. Like, if you don't like him as a protagonist, you don't like the show. The entire point of the show is like, hey, look at this fucking kid beat the shit out of things and get superpowers. Haha. I think personally I'd have probably given it to Frieren. Just for me. Just as far as I'm concerned, but... If Apothecary Diaries won, I wouldn't be mad. Solo Leveling winning it isn't exactly surprising given what we've seen so far, but I imagine people were still mad about it. I can see people being mad that he won over Frieren. I didn't like either of the main characters from Dandadan. Both of them annoyed me, actually. I did not click with either of them. I liked Okarun's transformation guy. I liked Okarun when he was in his, like, Turbo Granny bro, like, mode. I thought he was cool then. I enjoyed that. Did not like Momo. I wasn't a huge fan of her. But, so now, yeah. I think for me, I'd have probably given it to Frieren, but I can imagine people were probably mad about it. Ooh, supporting character. Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny as a supporting character is insane. Giving it to Gilf would actually have been peak. Jinshi, I thought Jinshi was also a protagonist, I'm not gonna lie. I did not realize he was a supporting character. Himmel is good. Everybody who watches Frieren loves Himmel. He's like, came like top of the charts in every popularity contest that Frieren has ever had, but he has like 5 minutes of screen time, so I don't think it would be fair to give him the win. Senshi from Dungeon Meshi. I think giving it to Granny would have been funny, but Fern is probably fine. I actually don't like Fern, which might come as a surprise given how much I've been gassing up Frieren. I love Frieren. I really like Stark. I like a lot of the side characters in Frieren. Fern is probably my least favorite character in the show. I do not enjoy her. That's my unpopular opinion about Frieren. I think I made a tweet a while back when I was watching the show during the Stark and Fern versus the two demons fight. I think I remember making a tweet of like, I love this show so much, but if Fern was real, I would have immediately clocked her in the head. You prefer Sign to Fern? I don't prefer Sign to Fern. Actually, do you know what? I actually might prefer Sign to Fern. Sign is interesting and he's funny, and I think he's an intriguing character. Fern has... I don't know, man. Like, I know she has a lot to her. I know she has a lot below the surface, but nothing about her motivations, her goals, her personality is in any way really interesting to me. I don't particularly care. I'm also just not a huge fan of, like, in shonen or shoujo or anything, like the child genius trope. I'm not a really big fan of, like, hey, here's a character that's like 10 years younger than every other like mage we're putting her up against, but she's really good, guys. She's super special. She beats them all without really struggling. She's just really good at magic. And she doesn't have to struggle. She beats everybody. It doesn't matter if the mage is like 4 times her age. She's bet. It's a really big pet peeve of mine in anime, where they have kid characters that are just vastly more powerful than a lot of the adult characters. I know she was trained and raised by 2 of the greatest mages and whatnot. I get it. I understand there is a lower reason for her being that strong. It's not. It's an anime trope that bugs me because I think it sort of undercuts the entire magic system if a kid training for like 10 years or something at she like 16 is somehow, you know, she's a first class mage, which most mages will never reach in their life, and she's better than people that are like double her age. I know geniuses exist IRL, but like, what's the best like comparison? I don't know. I know they exist IRL, but when you have something as complex as magic, and you're up against characters that aren't just... You're not talking about just human ears, because you have elves, you have demons, you have people that have lived longer than humans have. It always kind of rubs me the wrong way when you have a human character at like 16 that is already better. Like, here's the thing, you can have young characters that do better than adults, but if they are comically young, like 15, 16, it is... here's my thing. I think you need to have a very clear reasoning for why. I read it's really just pushing all our accomplishments on the human. No, Fern is stupidly strong. Like, Fern is unfairly strong to the point where she like beats mages that are like 40 years old plus. She's not as strong as Frieren by any means, but she's matching demons that are pretty fucking powerful, and she doesn't really struggle too much. She's pretty in control the whole time. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan of emotionless characters personally. I don't like characters that are always stoic. I think it's like, she's not shy at least, but here's what the thing I said in the tweet of like, if I met her IRL, we would not get along. I do not enjoy her personality. Yeah, so there's like Frieren, Denkin, Method, and then her. And she's like a fourth of the age of the next youngest person that we're talking about there. I don't know. It's... The thing is, you always want to vote for an underdog, right? I think that also plays into it, of like, you want to vote for kid that has had a rough time pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and doing what they can. Like, Stark, I think, is a more... I love Stark. Stark is probably my favorite character. And he's a much more endearing character to me than somebody who has been trained by like the best magic users in the realm since she was a child and is thus just naturally strong because she was like a little nepo baby. I'm much more a fan of like Stark, who is like just grinding himself to the bone. Even though Stark did also get trained by the warrior. So, but we also haven't really seen a ton of Fern backstory. Like, we don't know a huge amount of like what you see. Again, because she's stoic, we can't really see behind her. I don't like her. I love Stark. And it also plays into, I think, another issue I have with Frieren's world, which I don't understand Frieren's world. I don't get warriors. I don't understand why warriors exist. I don't get what they're there for. I think that they're written in as like a character dynamic and don't really make sense in the actual dynamics of the world and its magic system. Because a lot of the mages that we've seen so far seem to have no problem fighting close quarters. Like, if you were to design this system, right, of warrior and mage, right, the way that I feel like you should design it, I know we know Fern's backstory, but I feel like we don't really get to see into her character very often. Like, because she's so stoic, we don't really get to see her emotions come through. So we haven't really gotten to the root of like who she is yet. And I think that'll come out in the future when she has to struggle more. Or I think it will come out maybe in the future when I imagine at some point she might get separated from Frieren. And I think that's when we'll see it, when she's not just kind of following Frieren around. But the magic system of Frieren is weird. Here's the thing. If I was to design the warrior mage system, right? The way in my mind it would work is mages have a long cast time and like to work from a distance because they shoot their magic out. Warriors are kind of just ready to go whenever. They have no build-up time. They have no casting time. They're just ready to throw hands and they work their best in front. So you have this sort of natural synergy of Stark, warrior up front, dealing with shit, kind of buying time, holding things off because he's such a fucking tank and he can, you know, take damage, fight things off at the drop of a hat. And then mage in the back, Fern, is charging up a spell, getting like her mana ready, casting it, taking a lot of time. But then when she's ready, she drops a massive spell and that clears out the big guys. That's to me how it would work if I was writing it. But most mages in the verse so far just fucking shotgun spells out their ass constantly. They're just constantly up dropping spell after spell after spell. Literally, Fern's entire brand is being able to cast Zoltrak at like Mach 10. And every other mage you've seen seems to have a similar thing of like, you know, they actually... Like, Yubel fights in close quarters. Your idea seems really boring. But I'm talking more from a world building perspective than a narrative perspective. You can make any fight interesting. I'm not saying Frieren fights are bad. I'm not saying they're boring because they're not. But they don't make sense. Because there's... Nothing that we've seen so far implies that the average mage would need a warrior. Because they can just kind of solo everything themselves. You know? It's sort of like D&D, where like endgame magic casters are just better and can kind of like there's not really any need to have a warrior because you can kind of just do shit yourself. I mean, for an adventuring party, sure, because there are some things that we've seen so far that are like weaker to magic or weaker to physical, blah blah blah. But in terms of world building, the idea that every party will have like one magic caster and a frontline tank and whatever, it's just weird, given that, like, look at Yubel, right? Yubel is, for all intents and purposes, a close quarters combatant. Here's what I'd say is like my the underlying principle, right? Let's say you take away the distinction, right? You take away like warrior, mage. You don't have that. You just have characters that fight. In that world where you just have characters that fight, I don't think that you'd be able to draw like a tangible difference between the warriors and some other characters, because some mages fight like you would expect a warrior to fight. Like if you didn't have the arbitrary distinction of like mages are mages and warriors are warriors, Yubel seems like more of a melee fighter than anything, right? And so I don't know, it's always been a thing for me. And if you read the manga, which I'd recommend, it's a good thing, you can kind of see it by how the party works. Because I'm not gonna lie, Fern gets about 1 million opportunities to fight things and show herself. Stark gets like 1 decent fight every 2 arcs, maybe. Like the entire season, like the entire back half of the season we got, since Stark fought Linny, I know it's because we had the magic games, but he hasn't had like a good fight. And if I'm remembering the manga correctly, I don't know if he gets one for a while. And I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. The way the magic system is set up is a bit strange. Bro spoiling the manga. I can't remember. I know he gets fights, but I don't think he gets... I can't even remember when the next good one is, but I might be wrong. I'm not spoiling it specifically. Like, he still is there. But, it just makes me sad. Guys, Freerun dies. As far as I've read in the manga, that hasn't happened yet, so. Must protect at all costs character. Oh my god. Senshi? Freerun? Who nominated Freerun for this? What? I love Freerun. Freerun does not need protected. What are you talking about? Who the fuck is protecting Freerun? If anything, I'd put Stark here. Stark to me is more of like a cinnamon roll, like must be protected. From mimics, true. I think Anya being here is fine. No one else here really stands out to me. Freerun must be protected from her own greed. Anya winning makes sense to me. Who the fuck nominated Freerun? Protect Freerun from herself. Best anime song. Ooh. Wait, is this the opening? Wait, hang on. Yeah, that's the opening. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That opening has been stuck in my fucking head for like since I watched the show. I've just had dan 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 dan. It's between Dan and Mashal. Bling bum bum bling bung bung bling bung bung boom. Bling. Both of them banger songs. The Yoshinoko is okay. Was not a bad song. The Brave, is that the Freerun opening? Oh, both are by Creepy Nuts. You're right. Creepy Nuts lost to themselves. That's crazy that they've put out like probably the 2 best anime openings this year by the same people. But yeah, no, I think that tracks. Is fine. I think I would have probably voted Dan 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 as well. That fucking opening slaps. Best score. I find it hard because a lot of anime scores kind of fade into the background a lot, and I don't necessarily pay immediate attention to them. I think Demon Slayer generally has good music. I think Demon Slayer's soundtrack is probably one of its strongest points. I love Demon Slayer music. Frieren also has really good combat music. I don't know about Dandadan other than the opening. Like, I know Dandadan's opening is great. I can't actually remember any songs from Dandadan other than the opening. I don't know if I'd have given this to Solo Leveling. I think I'd have probably given it to Frieren or Demon Slayer. Either one of them makes more sense to me than the Solo Leveling. Again, I've not seen Look Back. Maybe its score is amazing. I have no idea. Oh, best OP. Okay, so we've got best OP and best song. Okay, so I guess this is the... yeah, this is in combination with the actual animation for the opening as well. So not just the opening song, but the actual opening animation and shit as well. Okay. I think it's again, I think it's just between Dandadan and Mashle. I don't think adding the animation really adds. I think the Oshinoko opening animation was really good if I remember. I think. Wasn't that the one a bunch of VTubers did the dance of? Didn't it become like an animation trend on TikTok and shit for a little while? If I remember correctly. I think it was pretty good. I'd probably give it to... I may actually give it to Mashle just because I think the Mashle visuals are a little bit more interesting. But honestly, either of these winning, fine to me. Best ending sequence. Oh, fuck. I can't remember any endings, actually. I can't even remember the Solo Leveling ending. Burning Oshino... Hang on. Oshinoko burning ending. Oh, this one. This actually was a good ending. This could get me copyright struck, but this actually was a good ending. Again, I don't really remember a lot of them. Tai-da-da. Oh wait, I remember this one. Tai-da-da. Dan-da-dan. Tai-da-da Dan-da-dan might be the most incomprehensible Google search I've ever done in my life. Wait, this? That wasn't... It didn't particularly stand out to me, I'll be honest. Dan-da-dan's ending was I actually like the Oshinoko one. I probably maybe would have given it to that. Soul Leveling ending. Wait, which one is it? Is it Request? No, that's on Apex. Here it is. I remember this. Hey, Rui. That's not bad. It's not horrible. I don't mind it. I'd have probably given it to Oshinoko myself, but that's just me. Voice acting performance. Ooh. Ooh. This is interesting. Demon Slayer Season 2 wasn't this year, was it? I'm doing alright. We're going through the Crunchyroll Anime Awards and getting mad. As God intended. Frieren's voice actor is okay. She does the job of Frieren, but the thing is, like, Frieren's intonation is not super conducive to, like, a massive voice acting performance. Neither... The voice acting in Dandadan was good. Neither of them, like... actually, Okarun being able to do two different distinct voices of, like, him and then him when he's transformed is interesting to me. I will hydrate. Yeah, I don't mind this actually. If Demon Slayer last season was in here, I'd have probably given it to the fucking the what's his name? The demon, the twin, the guy demon from the Entertainment District arc, because his voice acting was awesome. Or the girl. The girl demon, her voice acting was great. She managed to do both like adult woman and also like tantruming child really, really well. Yeah, Solo Leveling has won most of the shows. Best voice actor performance, Arabic. Okay, well, I've no... Is there going to be all of these? Yeah, okay, hang on. Not because they're not important, but just because I obviously can't speak those languages, so I didn't hear them. English dub. Did I watch any English dubs this... There was an Attack on... How is this the first time we've seen Attack on Titan? Wait, how did Alia not get nominated for Japanese? Also, this being the first time I've seen Alia reminded me that Alia was this year. How the fuck did Alia not get nominated for anything else? What? How is this the first Alia nomination I've seen? Alia was good. I enjoyed it. It was funny. I'd have probably given best JP voice acting to Alia actually, because she has to fucking speak in Russian. Like the voice actor for Alia has to speak both Japanese and Russian in the JP dub. I don't know if it's the same in the English, but like that's absurd. How did she not get fucking nominated? I feel like having to voice act in 2 separate languages is probably grounds for at least a nomination. I'd have at least nominated her over both of the fucking Dandadan protagonists. Huh, that's a bummer. Oh yeah, I'd have probably actually given it to her then. I forgot Alia was this year. I actually did watch Alia Sama. Yo, Sungwon! That's the YouTube guy. He makes the funny YouTube video. Haha, funny. Funny joke, funny guy. I think that's the last categories, yeah. So yeah, there's the anime awards. What did you guys think? You fans, you enjoy that? You agree? It wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was bad, but it wasn't egregious. I think, well, no, it was egregious, but it wasn't as bad as other years have been, but it's still pretty shit. Solo Leveling definitely won a lot that it shouldn't have, unfortunately. And kind of like always, it just feels like whoever nominates the shows, whichever panel of judges it is or whatever, it feels like they watched 8 shows in the year, and then those 8 shows get nominated for fucking everything with like 1 or 2 swap outs. And it's like this every year. Every single year, you go to every category and it's like, hey, do you want the same 6 shows repeatedly? No? Fuck you. But yeah, I do think people take the anime awards a bit too seriously. People take every award show a bit too seriously. Like, it's an award show. It's a popularity dick measuring contest. Nobody should really be taking it like as an actual reflection of a show's quality. Which I think is what people do. People kind of get it in the house of like, no, if my show doesn't win, that means my show is bad. No. No, my show can't be bad. It's my favorite show. I like it. No. You know? So, I think ultimately it doesn't fucking matter. It's just imaginary internet points that don't mean anything. And people get a little bit too tilted about it. So, honestly, the best thing about it is getting to see other shows. Like being like, oh, I didn't realize, like I didn't know Konosuba came out this year. So now I have a new show I can watch. Yeah, the anime community is so big now and so widespread that you're never gonna have an award show that appeals to everybody. It's so widespread now that the different communities have entirely different values on which they judge anime, and you're never gonna like any show that appeals to like the shonen brained people is going to annoy like the girly pops, and you're never going to completely appeal to every demographic, which is why like popularity shows always end up getting shit showed, because one or like you might appease one demographic, every other demographic is going to fucking hate you. So ultimately though, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? It's not really that important. Who cares? Best anime of all time, Glass Slip, because it's the only anime that I've ever unironically dropped, and it, you know, so it did the best job an anime has ever done of making me spend my time productively, because I didn't keep watching anime and instead I went and did something else more productive. Glass Slip might be it's probably the worst anime in my mind. Not because it was bad, but because it was just so fucking boring that I genuinely couldn't keep watching it. Even on like second monitor content, it was I've never seen something be aggressively boring, right? Normally if something is boring enough, you can just tune it out and focus on whatever else you're doing. Glass Slip was so aggressively boring that it actually like injected into my life and made my life boring. Even when I was doing other shit, it being on made whatever I was doing more boring than it would have been with just nothing. So, shout out to Glass Slip. Horrible show. Would not recommend. Do you not drop shows? I drop them all the time once I feel that a bit of resistance to watching the next episode. So I drop shows, but I never really purposefully drop shows, if that makes sense. 9 times out of 10 when I, you know, drop a show, it's just I forget to watch the next episode and then I fall out of habit and I forget I'm watching it, and then like a year later I'll be like, oh shit, I never finished that, right? Glass Slip is like the only show that I've deliberately been like, I am never watching more. Like if I go to my anime list, which I've done a stream before where I went through my anime list, I think Glass Slip is literally the only show on the deliberately dropped category. Like I went to Mal and I went to Glass Slip and I deliberately checked the box that was like dropped. I'm not watching this shit again. That's how offensively boring it was. Most other shows, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to keep watching this, and then I just forget to pick it back up. But no, Glass Slip, ugh, horrible, horrible show. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Just googled it, what were you expecting? I don't know, I was expecting some sort of like maybe Haruhi thing of some sort of interesting time loop shenanigans, or, you know, something curious. I was curious and then I was immediately not curious the moment I started watching it. But yeah, is there any other shows that I've like found offensively, any shows you guys have found offensively boring? Like shows that weren't just bad, they genuinely like put you to sleep and you couldn't keep watching because you just were not interested. Umaru-chan isn't even boring, it's just offensively annoying. Umaru-chan just pisses me off every time I've tried to watch it. It's just like, why would I? This is just the worst human being being enabled. Why would I watch this? It seems like torturing myself for no fucking reason. I'm trying to think. The problem is that like boring shows, you generally like don't remember, right? That's the thing with a boring show, is that you don't remember it because it's boring, so you forget that it exists. I'm trying to remember. I do drop shows when it's too fucking cringe. Cringe is another thing, yeah. If a show gets so cringe that it's painful to watch, like if it has humor or characters or whatnot that act in a way that you're like, ugh. Check it out to see if you've taken your mez pen. Good night, dragon. Eat well. I'm trying to think, what is the most offensive? Oh, what is a show that has made me cringe to death? Oh, Domestic Girlfriend. That main character fucking sucks. Doing God's work in a godless world, Kitakami, I think it was absurdly aggressively bad. Wait, I think I know. Oh, wait, are you talking about World God Only Knows or no? 90% of new Isekai anime. Forgot about the anime. Dude, Domestic Girlfriend. Up there is one of the worst protagonists just of all time. Just... Like, there's Domestic Girlfriend, and then there's also Kanojo, which I think also has a dog shit protagonist. I think that's another one I'm thinking of. Just... oh no, not Kanojo. Yeah, Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend, also aggressively bad protagonist. Who picking a fight with the world God only knows? Oh no, it's live set with the world God only... I don't think I finished World God Only Knows, but I did watch it. I don't think it was bad. But World God Only Knows is an anime I watched probably over a decade ago, so I don't remember much other than the bro is good at video game. Domestic Girlfriend OP is absurdly good. It is such a banger. I love it so much, and I'm so sad that it is tied to that show. Rent a Girlfriend has to be my favorite anime I dropped. I'm so glad I dropped it and being a better person. The thing is that Rent a Girlfriend and Domestic Girlfriend are both enabled by their protagonist. Like, in other shows, you're like, oh man, this show would be so good if the protagonist was better. Oh man, this premise would be so interesting if the protagonist wasn't the worst, right? In other shows, that's what you're like. But in... like Rent a Girlfriend and Domestic Girlfriend, it's like the opposite. You can't have the show without the protagonist being the worst. The protagonist being the worst is what enables the show to happen. It's just sad, man. It's a sad show. I've never wanted to like reach through my screen and punch a main protagonist. If I don't like the protagonist, I would just not watch. I think there is a bit of leeway where you can be like, hey, I don't love this protagonist, but I can reasonably convince myself to keep watching even though I don't like it because something else is interesting about it, right? But that's more if a protagonist is boring, right? If a protagonist is boring, I can generally look like past that and just sort of deal with it and not worry about it because it's like they're boring, but the other characters make up for it, whatever. But if a main character is annoying and like every single season, every single scene that they're in, I want to punch them, that's when I drop a show because like I can't be having this high blood pressure. My doctor says it's bad for me. Like I can't be going through every watch session of the show wanting to throw hands with the protagonist because I'll cry. It'll happen. So yeah, boring. Normally with anime, my mantra is like, it's better to be bad than boring because at least you're remembered if you're bad. But for protagonists, I think it's actually better to be boring because if you're bad, you're offensively annoying. What's worse, Domestic Girlfriend or School Days? Oh, Domestic Girlfriend. School Days, for all of its faults, and School Days also has a terrible protagonist and terrible characters, but School Days is like, okay, Domestic Girlfriend is like watching a slow moving bike collision. It's interesting enough and it's not offensive enough that you're gonna look away because nobody's gonna get like their head cut off or anything. You'll watch it. It's interesting enough to keep watching and nothing horrific is gonna happen. It's gonna make you go like throw up. School Days is like watching a high impact car crash, right? You probably should look away, but in some ways it's actually more interesting than the bike crash because you just can't. It's high-speed object hitting high-speed object, like fucking bang. It might scar you for life, but it's interesting. School Days is... Has there been a show like School Days since School Days that people have been like, yo, this shit is fucked? Like, this shit is fucked. I don't think there has been. Like, what? There's not been a Doki Doki Literature anime. Happy Sugar... No, but Happy Sugar Life was actually good, though. Like, Happy Sugar Life was actually interesting. Oh, Redo of a Healer. You're so right. Redo of a Healer is the School Days of our modern generation. Redo was fucked up. Redo was, like, fucked up. Dog, I remember seeing that gif going around of the guy dick slapping one of the girls. Bro. Redo is what happens when you give an incel a pen and paper. Like, bro. Here's the thing. Normally, I like like, you can write revenge stories that are interesting if the characters are bad enough, but there's a line. There's a line to revenge past the point it becomes uncomfortable, and Redo, like, fucking front flip, double tucked, stuck the landing over that fucking line. Like, you could have made, like, that's just Shield Hero. Shield Hero is, like, a similar story of revenge and whatnot, but kept within the levels of, like, comfortability to the point where people are going to be like, hey, what the fuck? Like, Shield Hero, as bad as it was, like, Shield Hero had a massive fall off, but as bad as Shield Hero was, like, it kept its revenge within, like, okay, understandable, you just want her to fucking die. Redo took it, I'd say, like, 7 steps too far. It was Nightmare Fuel when I watched the web novel many years ago. Couldn't bring myself to see the anime. It's like, I genuinely don't get the appeal. You ever seen a show where you're like, okay, I don't understand who watches it? Like, what purpose? The only thing I can think of for watching Shield Hero, the only reason I could think that somebody would watch Shield Hero is if you, like, just, if you hated women and you had your own, like, revenge that you were, like, vicariously living out through the anime. That is the only people I can see watching it unironically. The only other people would be people watching it for the shock value, like people like hate watching it and being like, hey, again, car crash, right? Of like, this shit's bad, but I need to know how bad because I'm fucking curious. That's the only two groups of people that I can think. Or, well, I feel like the fetish thing would link in. People, if you have that kind of fetish, I feel like it's probably tied into some weird misogyny that you've got. Like, you probably got rejected by a girl one time at age 16 and you've never lived that shit down, you know? What about Legend of the Overfiend? I've not seen that one. Is that also bad? I mean, it's called Legend of the Overfiend. Probably not the nicest guy, but... 12.5 hours driving sucks if you were dead inside. Hi, Pen. Did you look at the Gartic phone pics from last night? I did not. I was unaware there were Gartic phone pics. Hang on. I misspoke? What did I misspeak? Who did I misspeak? Who have I pissed off now? Misogyny? Misogyny? I said it right. It's misogyny, right? Listen, I know misogyny. Trust me, you're speaking to an expert. Is it in community games? No? What channel is it in? I'm looking in community games. I'm not seeing it. You said Shield Hero? Oh, well, yeah, sorry. Shield Hero was also talking about, but I said Shield Hero wasn't as bad. Like, Shield Hero kept it to a reasonable level. Maybe I misspoke and said the wrong one. Oh, community games announcements? Okay. Oh, right, it's a zip hanging. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure I can download this. It's probably not a virus. Let's see, round 4. Resnick's true self, Res Evil. Bruh. Y'all were bullying Resnick in the Gartic phone. California floating away. Get rid of California, I guess we're attacking. Nuclear bomb on California. Good job, guys. Okay, so you guys were bullying Resnick and threatening nuclear war on California. W. If I show it on chat, Connor, Resnick will probably ban you. Which would be funny, actually, in retrospect. Let's see, what else is there? Resnick being silent. Bro, you're just hating that, man. Connor silencing Resnick. Y'all were like, was Resnick there? Or Resnick being... Are all of the last rounds just Resnick being bullied? I kind of feel bad. Poor guy. I can't say he hasn't asked for it a few times, but... I'm really hungry. I haven't had dinner today or lunch. What should I have for food? Redo of Resnick. Oh no, he's gonna get his revenge. Redo of a Twitch mod. Now that's an anime I want to see. I want to see redo of a Twitch mod. I want to see Twitch mod gets revenge on Charus. Dog, I'm starving. After he pinged the stream announcement channel last night, I said shush in response, and he then deleted it, and that's what happened after. Ah, I see. Indian food too spicy for you? I've decided to not, like, just eat or, like, order food. My banking app gave me, like, a review of my finances from last year, and I saw how much I'd spent on, like, ordering food, and it made me want to cry, so I've sworn off of it. We're not doing it anymore. I was already only doing like once a month, but seeing that made me go like, you know what? Never again. We're never ordering food again. It ain't worth it. Holy shit. I do like Indian food though. I like some Indian food. Some Indian food is a bit spicy for me, but I like some Indian food. It's not bad. What should I get? I think, ooh, what do I have? I may go make some curry. I've not made pizza. I can't make pizza. I have no idea. I don't have a pizza oven. I do have mince through there, and I have rice, and I have curry powder, and I have chili beans, and oh, I can make some chili. I kind of want curry, but I don't have any chicken. I might have to go get some chicken at the store next week. Maybe I can make myself like a chicken kurma or something. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go cook, chat. Let me cook. I'm gonna send you guys away. Evan's playing with Mariyumi. You guys can go say hi to him. YouTube. Sorry for ending it so quick. If I'm being honest, you know that thing that happens to me sometimes when I'm dumb and I don't eat and it makes me shake, and I then very promptly realize that I need to eat now or I will maybe pass out. Yeah, we're rocking with that today. So, let's send you guys over to who do I want to send you people to? There's actually a lot of people live right now. You guys want to say hi to Matara? You go say hi to Matara. Yeah, Matara actually pops up as the first person recommended to me. So, yeah. YouTube, you're going to go say hi to Matara. Twitch, you're going to go say hi to Evan. I'm going to go eat and hopefully not pass out. W. I'll catch you guys Tuesday stream. Schedule should be up tomorrow, Tuesday. I have no idea what we're doing. Maybe more blueprints. I finished the game, so I don't know. Or I might play something else. Or I might play Minecraft. I don't fucking know. I will decide tomorrow. But thank you guys for hopping by. Thank you for being here. All that good stuff. And I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.